Hi! Welcome to another edition of the Cozy Corner Crazies with your favorite crazy, Chris G. Now, shout out to Agape Movement Ministry. You guys have made it possible for us to have the Facebook, the Insta, and now the YouTube. You guys, thank you so much for your partnership. We appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to contact the Cozy Corner directly, you can contact us via email at krozycornerkrazies@gmail.com. We also have our blog. It's a little bit more wordy, short stories, poems, and your personal experience versus the professional explanation. So we do a little bit of parallel with both of those. You can check that out at confessions.life. Now, today we're going to be diving into a topic. It's a little bit more popular now with, the coming out of COVID and just a lot of different topics that have come to light where they used to be a little bit more taboo. And it's covering a little bit more of the mind. Now, you know that what we do here at the Cozy Corner Crazies and the blog, and we just like to share a lot about life, wellness, the mind, the body, and the spirit. Now, for me personally, I will be graduating with my psychology degree next year, and so I'm super excited about that. But I decided instead of being a counselor or a therapist that I would connect more on a community level, teaching people about how to be well as a whole. And so that's why we call it life wellness. And the three topics that I feel in my own life have been the most important are my mind, my body, and my spirit. You may relate to that. You may not relate to that. We appreciate the love either way. And so today we're going to be talking about dominating depression. Now, we're not talking about your average, I just want to cool it on the couch, disconnect from the world, and just be lazy. Sometimes you need that for your mental well-being, let's be real. Checking out and disconnecting and just getting that rejuvenation, that refreshment. No, we're talking about the actual topic of depression, the diagnosis, the disease of depression. And we're going to cover that in just a minute from the National Institute of Mental Health. And so we've got some definitions and we've got some symptoms for you because it is a sensitive topic and we want to make sure that we properly navigate what that means so that if you do need to get help, then you have the right steps in going ahead and making that first leap of faith and saying, okay, this may be me. Let me talk to somebody and get a professional opinion. So from the National Institute of Mental Health, depression is defined as it can be either a major depressive disorder or a clinical depression. It is common, but a serious mood disorder. It causes severe symptoms that affect the way you feel, think, and handle daily activities, such as sleeping, eating, or working. Some of the different types of depressions that you'll find are persistent depressive disorder, postpartum depression, psychotic depression, bipolar disorder, and seasonal depression. So you see a lot of that in that what people call the winter blues. This is actually a thing. You can look it up. But a lot of it you'll find it's just science and the way that the earth is at that time. The sun is a little farther away from the earth and not really providing as much vitamin D, that natural vitamin D that our body needs. So it is a real thing. People do go through this. And so you'll just want to be mindful of the way that your body is and the way that your body responds to certain things. But some of these symptoms, according to the National Institute of Mental Health, are persistent, sad, anxious, or empty moods, feelings of hopelessness or pessimism, irritability, feelings of guilt, worthlessness, or helplessness, loss of interest in pleasure of hobbies or activities, decreased energy or fatigue, moving or talking more slowly because it affects your cognitive, feeling restless or having trouble sitting still, difficulty concentrating, remembering, or making decisions, appetite and or weight changes, thoughts of death or suicide or even suicide attempts, aches, pains, headaches, cramps, or digestive problems, and difficulty sleeping, early morning waking, or oversleeping. So these are just some of the common symptoms. And mind you, you're not confined to just those symptoms. Some people who are experiencing depression or going through it, they experience some of those symptoms, whereas someone may experience all of those symptoms and some. So being mindful of what you're going through, what your body is saying, what your mind is telling you, and really getting a professional opinion. We don't encourage that you self-diagnose, but if you do feel like you have some of those symptoms, we want to go ahead and take a pause right now. You are not alone. Okay, we don't judge you. There is nothing to judge. There's nothing wrong with you. You just need to maybe take those steps to speak to somebody professionally so that you can find out where you are in this topic of depression. Super, super, super advocate of multiple forms of accountability. That looks like groups, church. Maybe you do need to go to like a depression meeting or an AA meeting, because a lot of people actually, you find, that are addicted to alcohol or drugs, they have that underlying depression issue and don't even know it. And so, total advocate for getting multiple forms of accountability. If you need to go see a counselor or a therapist, whatever your issue is, we're all for it. Go ahead and get the help that you need. There's no shame in that. We totally stand by you. Now, specifically depression in my own area of expertise, I have struggled with depression for most of my life, mental health, all through my youth. And, I've talked about it before. I was a triple threat. I drank, I did drugs, and I cut myself, and I attempted suicide on my life. And there's just a lot of, we won't go down the entire resume, but there's a resume there. And a lot of it I found through counseling and through different groups, trauma and experiences that I tried to deny that happened. And when you don't deal with those issues at the appropriate time, they don't process properly, and your body kind of goes into survival mode, and it starts reframing the way that you think and the way that you feel and the way that you behave. And so a lot of these things, I learned that there's actually a cognitive triangle. The way that you think can affect the way that you feel, and then you respond with the way that you act, or vice versa. It can go either way. So I've learned that in my own counseling experiences. So you can find out a lot of this stuff, and you can go to professionals, and they will help navigate in whatever area you need to be navigated in. And so really just coming to terms with that and accepting yourself, and really reflecting also, like reflect on how you feel. How do you see yourself? Are you active? Do you do things that stimulate your senses, to go smell something that makes you feel good, or you see something that makes you feel good, or you hear things, different musics, different sounds. And so I like to sleep with sounds. Sometimes I'll change it up with wind sounds or rain sounds. And believe it or not, there's an actual science, and there are things that happen in the brain. And we won't get into all of that right now, but when you start taking your steps and figuring out what it is that you need for yourself, then you'll find that some of these things work for you also. How do you spend your free time? Are you filling your body and your eyes with junk on TV? And then, you're filling your life with junk on the outside too. So you just really want to make sure that you're feeding yourself the healthy things and the positive things that will stimulate positivity in your life. And then lastly, you want to reflect on your personal goals. Do you have personal goals? Do you have things that you want to do with your life? Do you find yourself that you're just at a 9 to 5 and you're just like, I want to do more with my life and I want to make changes? Okay, we'll make changes. There's nothing wrong with taking a step back and reflecting, like who you are as a person. What do you like to do? What do you need to do? Like maybe you need to put the chocolate bar down and pick up a salad, those types of things. Maybe you need to get active, and maybe you need to exercise. And so the CDC, actually recommends 30 to 45 minutes a day for activity. Now, this doesn't mean that you need to go pop into a gym. You could literally walk around your neighborhood for 20 or 30 minutes, and that increases your heart rate, and there's activity for you. Super healthy, okay? You can start small and then work your way up. Me personally, I exercise on a regular basis, and I need to keep my body moving because I deal with chronic pain also from spinal injuries from the car accident where I tried to run myself off the road and try to kill myself. And so now there are repercussions to that. And if I stay still for too long, then my body starts swelling and there's just a lot of pain. So that's just personally what I have to do. Whatever works for you and whatever works for each individual. And no two people are the same, and no two therapies are going to be the same, and no two stories are going to be the same. But we all share similarities, and we're not alone. It's in my story, your story, our story. This is how we share and do life together, which is why we've chosen to kind of bring this topic to light today, and hoping just to give you that much more, a little bit of encouragement. I want to remind you that accepting yourself is going to be one of the main parts to this. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. God didn't make a mistake. This is just something that has happened to you that you now need to take the steps towards healing for. Nobody's perfect. Anybody who tells you that is a liar. So really just being active in your well-being, making sure that you get the healing that you need, making sure that you move forward and taking those steps. Like I said, advocate for multiple forms of accountability. Getting good friends, people who are going to be positive in your circle, people who are going to stand by you, people who are going to encourage you, but also people who are going to call you out on your business, okay? Gracefully telling you what you need and what you don't need. Really getting those positive things inside of your body. Exercise is super, super, super important. Making sure that you stay active, trying to increase your heart rate and keep your body moving and keep your body going. And honestly, it really doesn't take much more than that. When you think about your mind, you want to make sure that you're filling your mind with things that are positive forms of thinking. And that will help you with the way that you feel. And then it will respond more positively. And vice versa. If you're a negative thinker, you're going to have negative feelings and you're going to act negatively. So really just thinking about what the types of things that you want to have in your life and what type of person you want to be. And lastly, okay, we would not be doing our due diligence if we didn't share the same love for our lives with you so that you can feel that in your own life. Now, we've said it before, okay, I'm a Christian. We're Christians here at the Cozy Corner Crazies, but this is not a Christian vlog. Okay, we want to make sure that people understand that first and foremost, we give our glory to God, because I know personally for myself that I would not be sitting here today if it wasn't for God's hand of mercy on my car that said, whoop, just 2 inches over, I would have went into the river. Okay. I am a believer. Maybe you've been church hurt, and that's okay. I've been church hurt, but I wasn't always a Christian either. So I understand both perspectives. And sometimes people really don't know what they're talking about. Okay, let's just be real. But then there are other people, they just mean well, and they just don't know how to communicate that. They've had a revelation from God that changed their life, kind of like I had that moment on the bridge. And they just don't know how to share that love with you. And they mean well, they just don't know how to say it. Okay, so give it a chance. Give people a chance, and definitely give God a chance, because he loves you even if you don't love him. He believes in you even if you don't believe in him. So our scripture today comes from Matthew 11:28 and 29. And he says, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. Let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle at heart, and you will find rest for your souls." Don't you want rest? Don't you want peace? He wants that for you. And all you have to do is give him that burden. Give him that depression. You will dominate that depression, and you are not alone when you do it. And now, before I let you go, fam, I want to go ahead and let you know one of the things that I like to do for my free time, and one of the hobbies that I've taken up. I'm not like a professional or anything, but I do take much joy in taking pictures and going out and being in nature and being one with nature. And so I'm going to share a couple of those pictures with you. And I just really want to share them with you because I want you to know that it really doesn't take that much. Like, a lot of these pictures, I took them outside of my house, and yeah, sometimes you just got to step outside and see the beautiful creation that God has created for us. And we just have access to it. It's free. So stay tuned, and I got those pictures for you. I'm back. Miss me? Thanks for staying in. Okay. Now, this first one that I'm going to show you, I'm super proud of this one because, I don't really do bugs. And I'm pretty much frightened of anything that flies. Maybe flies and mosquitoes, not so much, but wasps, have you seen their stinger? Child, Lord. Okay, so I'm super proud of this one. This little guy, isn't he beautiful? Yep, that was outside of my house, and he was just, doing what it is that he was created to do, scrummaging for food or whatever. So super proud of that guy. Now, this one here, I don't know if it's a female or a male. Not trying to be politically correct or anything, because we don't do that up in here. But I think it's a female because like she now like building this is like outside in the awning in my house, and now there's like a full nest there, and this bird wasn't this chunky when this started. So I think we will be having little birdlets in our midst very soon. Okay, and this guy here was taken at the Atlanta Zoo. Isn't he beautiful? Now, this is a male. They told us at the exhibit because we had a tour. And let me just say, one male to 7 females, and they had a whole bunch of little mini gorillas running around. I don't judge, I'm just saying. Now, fun fact though about the Atlanta Zoo, they told us that they only have one male per exhibit because they keep on trying to kill each other. So it was very interesting to find that out. A lot of the animals that you will see at the Atlanta Zoo are females. So fun fact. This one was also taken at the Atlanta Zoo. This is the lion exhibit. Super beautiful to see in person. Like, I mean, this is as close as I'll get. But it was beautiful. It was a beautiful sight to see. Now, fun story about this one, okay? If you ever get to go to the zoo with small children, they will make your day. I kid you not, this happened. While visiting the Atlanta Zoo with some family members and my niece and nephew, my nephew decided that he wanted to jump on top of the fence and start pointing at the lions, and he was like, "Alikay! Alikay!" Now, if you've never seen the movie Madagascar, it was a treat, okay? The lion Alex in the movie, his tribe name prior to making it to the zoo was Alikay. So I just thought that was really interesting because my nephew really made our day. And you can see like all of the parents just like, you know, saluting my sister because those are my sister's kids. And they were just like, yeah, we understand. So it was just a funny moment to share with family. Now, these ones here are a little bit more of like nature. So this was taken at a golf course. A lot of people don't actually know that it's there, but it's behind Stone Mountain. So this is down below at the view, and the golf course is right behind me. And this area right here, that's where Stone Mountain is, and it's just right beyond those trees. So super awesome to take this picture. I was excited about that one because I got to get the clouds in the reflection of the water. So super awesome. And if you're from Atlanta, you'll really appreciate this one. This was taken at the Westin. This is a picture of the entire city of Atlanta, or at least the Atlanta area. This is not including Buckhead. And from a West End view. So super proud of those pictures. I'm not like a professional photographer or anything, but taking pictures really do bring me joy, and they makes me feel good on the inside, and just finding a hobby and finding something. So really, it's just that simple, guys. Feed your mind, feed your body, feed your spirit. Have wellness as a whole. And if you need to talk to somebody professionally, don't be ashamed. There's nothing wrong with you. You are not alone. You are loved, and we love you, okay? Show your comments down in the comment section showing us love, but of course, showing love to each other, because that's what we're here for, right? Continue to tune into our coming vlogs because we've got so much more content coming your way, and we just really appreciate all of our viewers, all of our followers, and we are so happy that you're here. Continue to love yourself because we love you. Bye!